bad night for stargazing as round one of the NBA playoffs continue. The stars were indeed out tonight. Hi again and welcome to Inside the NBA on TNT. The postseason postscript each and every night. I'm Vince Cellini along with my partner, Washington Bullets coach Jimmy Lynam, back for another night. Good to have you. And what a different story this evening. Last night in the opening round, or the opening night, 3 of the 4 road teams won. Tonight, a very different story.
Not only did the home teams win, Vince, in all 4 cases tonight, but they win in easy fashion.
Yeah, by an average of like 18 points in this one, so took care of business. And talk about your stars. The NBA's most brilliant performers step back into postseason with a chip on his shoulder. Michael Jordan heard the criticism about his game after last year's playoff failure. Give this guy a cause, and he will hurt you. Mike and the Bulls stepping up against the Miami Heat, a team that handed Chicago one of its 10 losses this season. At United Center, where Chicago had lost only twice all season. And per Michael's orders, wearing the black shoes and the black socks for the Bulls. Not a good look for Luke Longley. That's not a good look for Zoe Mourning on the bench with a couple of early fouls. But Luke showing some muscle. First blocking Chris Gatling, and then no soup for Kurt Thomas. Wow, Luke going wild around their feet. And Tim Hardaway. Good pick from Michael Jordan, and lays it in. 36-34, Miami with the lead. The time running out in the first half, and Scottie Pippen to Randy Brown, who knocks it down. This game was tied at 54 at the half, so quite a surprise. Miami's hanging in there. Third quarter, Michael Jordan posting on Rex. High off the glass and in, 71-65 Bulls. And Tim Hardaway trying to drive and kick. A good play by Ron Harper. He's going to go all the way for the mush. 74-65 Bulls. Then Jordan on the drive, knifing through the defense. Pretty. Bulls are starting to pull away. Rough night for Zoe. 10 points, 2 rebounds on the night. That's it. Then fouled out of the game, exchanging words with Scottie Pippen as he left the floor. Remember, Zoe had some words to say about the Bulls before the series began. He was ejected from the game, maybe protecting his center. Pat Riley also tossed. He had seen enough. Anyway, the Bulls win 102-85, take the first game. Michael 35, Kukoc 21 and 7 rebounds. For Miami, Tim Hardaway had 30, 20 of them in the second quarter. You saw Zoe's ugly numbers, not good. 8 total technicals in this game, 6 for the Miami Heat. Timmy Hardaway, certainly a tale of 2 halves. You see the scoring in the first half, and very blatant there, the 3-point field goals. He missed on all 4 tries in the second half. In Chicago tonight, Craig Sager asking the question, what if Jordan was one of us?
This is the second season. You don't know what to expect. What's your assessment of the performance tonight and how rough and all the technical fouls?
Well, as you see, both teams wanted really bad, and it's a pretty physical game. And, you know, mentally, you got to keep your head into the ball game. You know, you can't let the little things get your head out of the game. And, you know, I think we kept our heads in a little bit longer than they did. And this is how this series is going to be. It's going to be a tough series.
How much more comfortable are you this year at playoff time than you were a year ago?
I feel more comfortable with my teammates. You know, myself, I feel good physically and mentally, but I think the whole season gave me an opportunity to see what type of team I have and how I fit with that team and, you know, what the roles are on this team. And so we can come in here and play a lot better as a unit.
The Black Sox scandal to start the game. What's the story behind the Black Sox?
We figured we wanted to do something different. You know, when we went to the black shoes a couple years ago, now everybody's doing the black shoes, and we decided to go with the Black Sox.
Coach said it's all about equality, noting the disparity in free throws. Do you feel you were shortchanged?
Hey, you know what? You can take it for what it's worth. Yeah, take it for what it's worth. You know, you had a better seat than I did, you know, and you saw it a little bit more clearly. So, I mean, you can just take it for how you saw it. You know, we just got to deal with it, move on, and look towards Sunday and put this one behind us. You know, every dog has his day.
Well, that dog needs a day on Sunday in Game 2. Did he have a beef, Zoe?
Well, I think what he did, Vince, he brought a lot of extra pressure on himself. Pre-game comments, got into early fouls, never got in the flow of the game.
Yeah, you look at the disparity on the free throw line, too.
Yeah, and I think in that sense, he probably is setting the tone come Sunday, looking for a few more.
Yeah, 36 times the Bulls go to the line, only 15 for the Miami Heat, so that's quite a difference. Let's move on now to one of our regular segments on Inside the NBA. It's the Inside Look. Tonight, Miami's perimeter game. We had talked on how important that was for Miami to shoot the ball well from behind the arc. Did they do so? Well, they did for a while.
First half, big time. Tim Hardaway in particular. They need Hardaway and Rex Chapman to knock down these perimeter shots, particularly threes. You see that high pick and roll. Pat Riley likes that tactic. Hardaway with monster first half. Here's Kurt Thomas setting a pick. for Rex Chapman. Chapman makes an off-balance shot, which he's quite capable of doing.
So Timmy Hardaway really held up his end of the bargain. He had to have a big night, as did Zoe Mourning.
I think what he did, Vince, he picked up the slack in the first half. He knocks down another three. He's going to lull him again. If you're not up on him, he gives him just enough room. Boom, knocks down. He was sensational.
But the Bulls, as they usually do, they adjust.
And give Phil Jackson the credit. Obviously, they talked at halftime. The guy had 26 points at the half. They're going to be much more aggressive. Scottie Pippen, jumping out, long arms. Makes Hardaway put it on the floor, and now you have to shoot over a much taller player, front rim.
Great help defense from Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah, and great play here. Watch as Hardaway drives. Ron Harper chases the play, steals the pass, and you get a bonus here. He's going to go wire to wire. What do you guys say? Thank you very much.
You know, it is. It's a cliche, but it is all about defense once you get to postseason. Nobody does it better than
No, the
Chicago.
Bulls, exactly. They might have lulls with their offense, but their defense is nonstop.
It is a constant. All right, break time on Inside the NBA, but barring a sudden benching by Coach Lynam, he might sit me. I don't know. We'll be back in just a moment. Tonight was the night the Pistons were firing again in postseason. Slick Nick, though, had his bag of tricks for them in Orlando. And the Suns and the Spurs, where there's a will, apparently there is a way. The pride of Vanderbilt helped San Antonio big.
Inside the NBA is brought to you by Foot Locker, the world's most complete athletic footwear store. Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite.
It's not your fault you exist, but gravity.
You are no friend of mine. You do not belong in my house. Though you show up every morning. I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle.
That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you.
If only for an instant. Even if it's just for an instant. Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
Carbon monoxide isn't the only thing to worry about coming from your tailpipe, because with every stroke of your engine, motor oil is being vaporized into exhaust, leaving less and less protection. That's why there's Castrol GTX 10W30. Of every leading 10W30, Castrol provides the most protection against volatility burn-off. So use Castrol, or watch more of your protection go up in smoke. Castrol GTX, the most protection against volatility burn-off.
Gillette presents a unique antiperspirant for men. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. Unlike a stick that can stay in your underarm hair, this is a soft gel. It goes cleanly through the hair, directly to the skin surface, to fight odor and wetness where they begin, for powerful all-day protection. And its clear formula leaves no white residue. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant.
Come on! Game starts in 20 minutes! Stand here! Oh, my... I'm coming! What is it there? He's looking good! What a geek. Let's go.
Be a fan, not a fanatic. Look your best in NBA Authentics apparel from Lee Sport, officially licensed by the NBA, NFL, NHL, and Major League Baseball. Lee Sport, the brand for fans like you.
Fearing his enemies have tracked him down, Lazarus joins a cattle cry. But when a friend is threatened, Lazarus must risk everything to save him.
You think you can kill us all?
Watch The Lazarus Man, tomorrow night at 7 on TNT.
Our philosophy is it's never too late for NBA playoff basketball. That's our credo. Inside the NBA. We're back in our studio, and I think it's a good-looking studio, too. Vince Cellini along with Jimmy Lynam. All right, how does a weekend getaway in Orlando sound? Room and meals included. Disney World's an option for you, but read the fine print of the contract. Your team has to play the Magic. This was Detroit's dilemma. Back in postseason after a 3-year absence, Dougie Collins and his men had big ideas, but these Pistons aren't bad boys. They were just bad, boy. Go to Orlando now, and, you know, I think Ho Grant can actually see better through the fingers than not. Shaquille O'Neal, what can you do about this? Not much. Orlando had the early 9-point lead, but Allen Houston on the second quarter trying to bring Detroit back. 11 straight points for him, had 19 in the game, 46-40 Orlando. Then the Magic on the fast break. Penny. Is it there? No. Horace is. Stays with it and the follow. 68-56 Orlando. Now Dennis Scott, 3D. Had a good night behind the arc and within it. Drawing the foul there, 91-70 Orlando. Penny Hardaway, give us a finish. And he does. knocking down the three. 112-92 over Collins and the Pistons. The Magic used a 65-point second half to pull away and take game one. Dennis Scott had 23, including 6 threes. Shaq 21 and 10 rebounds. Phil 21 and 11 rebounds in the loss. 8th straight win over Detroit for Orlando at home. Game 2 is set for Sunday. A tale of two halves in this game. Pistons had it tied at 47 at the break, but then big second half for Orlando. You see the field goal percentage going down for Detroit, and the Magic free throws going up. And that was really part of the difference. Kevin Kiley at the O-Arena files this report.
Nobody gave Detroit much of a chance tonight here in Orlando, but when they came from 13 down to tie it at the half, the crowd was silent here at the arena. But after intermission, both the Magic and the fans erupted, and game one was over in a hurry.
Well, we said at halftime that they had gained a lot of confidence in the first half, and if we didn't come out the third quarter with a lot of defensive pressure, that it would be a long night and possibly could lose this game. And we came out, and then everybody committed themselves to defense, and we broke it out.
What was the key, do you think, in the third quarter to the points and the defense? Stopping who?
Stopping Grant Hill from penetrating. He was trying to ISO us the entire first half, and he and Allen Houston, they were both successful at it. In the third quarter, we just said we were going to force him to help and stop him from penetrating, and they helped us out a lot.
It seemed like they made some adjustments, came out more hungry, played harder, got to loose balls, made adjustments with our defense.
I think our team is maturing. I think we're continually maturing as we move along. We made some slip-ups in the first half that got them back in the game and tied it up, but we came back and took care of business in the third quarter like we had to, and maybe that's something that a year ago at this time we might not have done quite as well.
Well, Jimmy, this is another lesson, and don't be fooled by what happens during the regular season. Things are much different in postseason.
Yeah, very good point, Vince. During the season, Detroit's defense overall very effective against Orlando and in particular against Shaq. But I thought tonight, everybody saw speak there. Second half, totally domination by Orlando.
All right, let's take an inside look at this game with a marquee matchup. What do you say, Orlando-Detroit? And we'll do that at the power position, the power forward. Horace Grant versus Otis Thorpe. Guys with championship rings with different teams, Jimmy.
Yeah, two terrific role players. Horace Grant, a very underrated shooter. You see, Thorpe gives a little help here. Horace gets a baseline jumper. 17 feet. This guy's close to automatic. A little pick here. You see Otis Thorpe screening to get a shot for an open shot for Allen Houston. It doesn't go. Now watch Thorpe as he pursues. He doesn't die on the play. Gets the offensive rebound. Little fake against Shaq. Makes the jump hook. Two guys that don't need the ball, Vince. They just kind of score like in the flow. Here, Hardaway misses, but Horace Grant, not expecting or assuming it's going to go down, follows the play, gets over the top of Grant Hill for a nice follow shot.
And then this was some bad news for Otis Thorpe.
And this is really where the game changed. This was an 8-point game at this point in time. He gets kicked, I believe, in the calf.
Right, he gets a leg contusion there, and then he was out for the rest of the game. And Horace Grant, very active with the basketball.
Yeah, he gets the rebound. They see him out there on the left wing. Again, a guy just never stops working. He doesn't know he's going to get that ball. Gets it, and then a little bonus, knocks down that 14-foot jumper.
And Horace ended up with a win tonight, and it was Otis Thorpe ending up on the bench with the crutch there. You see the comparison in numbers tonight, 15 and 13 for Horace Grant. Good night for him, 10 and 6 for Otis Thorpe, and Otis Thorpe is expected to play in Game 2 when that rolls around. But OT's a warrior. I'm sure he'll be back. All right, the Western Conference, anyone? And for all the compliments thrown at the Suns way late in the regular season, remember, they still finished at 500 at 41 and 41. That earned Phoenix a 7 seed and a first-round meeting with San Antonio. David Robinson's Spurs 3-1 against the Suns this season. The Admiral averaged 28 points, 12 rebounds in those 4 games. So to Alamo Dome we go in a game that was not close. Michael Finley may have been a factor in this game had he been healthy, but had the bad ankle and sat out for the Suns. Avery Johnson just dishing and dishing. And this is classic Avery to the basket. Waits till the very last second to dish it off to Sean Elliott for the jam. Charles Barkley trying to will his team back. From KJ, Barkley with the J. The Suns did have the 3-point lead early in the game in the first quarter. Then all of a sudden, Will Perdue takes over. Will Perdue with the dunk. Will Perdue with a dunk. 17 points on 8 of 9 shooting. Cotton hated that, had to call timeout. Time running out now in the half. Vinny Del Negro beating the buzzer, 58-44 Spurs. Then on the break, Avery finding David Robinson for the slam. And here's something Jimmy Lynam has seen many times in Philadelphia. Charles a little bit frustrated in the game. And I guess he should be. 120-98 the final numbers. The Spurs shot a scalding 62%. Del Negro 29 points, a playoff career high. Avery Johnson, 18 assists. The Admiral had 28 and 6. Barkley had 26 points, dozen rebounds in a losing effort in this game. What happened in the third quarter? Everything good as far as the Spurs were concerned. They scored 37 there on 16 of 19 shooting, hit their first 9 shots of the quarter. Vinny Del Negro and Robinson each had 11 points in that decisive third quarter. Ian Eagle on hand at the Alamo Dome and files this report.
A team seeking respect, the San Antonio Spurs, stepped onto their home floor tonight and blew out the Phoenix Suns. A message game for the Spurs. Phoenix beat this team 3 years ago in the Western Conference semifinals, and it's been on San Antonio's mind. Vinny Del Negro, a new career high in playoff competition. He finished with 29. And Charles Barkley said, hey, give the Spurs credit.
Well, you know, obviously, you know, they just kicked our butt from pretty much the second quarter on. And you got to give them all the credit. They played terrific. Vinny Del Negro was awesome. And Will Perdue played terrific. I mean, obviously, Don, Sean, and David are going to get theirs, but obviously Vinny Del Negro and Will Perdue played terrific tonight. So, you know, we really can't, you know, we just got our butt kicked, and thank God it's over.
Yeah, you know, we couldn't find our rhythm in the first quarter, but the guys just kept, you know, keep on running the floor, getting pick and roll situations. And after we figured out how they were forcing us down the pick and roll, we figured out some things, got some open shots, and we were just being a little bit more aggressive and you know, got a nice, comfortable lead for halftime.
A message game against the Suns?
Well, obviously it's a big plus for us to get off to this good start, but it's only 1-0. You got to get ready for Sunday, and they're going to come out and play hard, Charles and Kevin, and they're talented enough to put enough points on our bar to hurt you. So we got to go over some things. We'll be well prepared.
Well, there might have been a message in there somewhere from the nice guy Spurs who played to win tonight and played to deliver their thoughts to the Phoenix Suns. Now let's take an inside look at this game and what turned around the game, that big third quarter for the Spurs. And again, we'll raise questions about the Phoenix Suns and a commitment to defense, Jimmy Lynam.
Yeah, Bob Hill firing the troops up, sending them out for the third quarter. Avery Johnson, one of my all underrated guys, Vince. You see him dish to Del Negro, who in turn makes the next pass. Gets an open baseline jumper. See, Phoenix has to do a better job. They can't give up layups like this and dunks. Avery Johnson penetrating, sets up a 3. And Del Negro more than capable of knocking that down.
See, that backcourt really making a statement this year. They've taken some criticism, but really gelled together, I thought, Del Negro and Avery.
And I think the front court guys, David in particular, they feed off those guys. Charles obviously very frustrated.
Well, you seen anything like that?
Well, he's very competitive, and when he sees his team giving up plays like this, he knows he has no chance with that kind of defense. They have to tighten it up.
Now, the Phoenix Suns have to do a better job. They allowed 104 points a game during the regular season. As far as Barkley is concerned, he had him for 4 years in Philadelphia. You know this guy as well as anyone. How is his health?
I feel that when Charles reaches this point in the season, he's worn down. He has to carry that team night in and night out in the regular season. You see it in the boxes like the last 5-6 weeks of the year.
Yeah, what do you see out there when he's on the floor? Are there little nuances maybe to his game or just the general wear and tear?
No, I think it's a case where he's just not quite as sharp. He's not quite as quick. You know, his game is a very physical game, and you can only get banged around like that but so much.
He's taking his share, no question. All right, gym class continues in just a moment. Coming up on Inside the NBA, that odd couple in the West. Can Seattle spit that 8 seed known as the Kings? Like you and me, Sean Kemp was watching this one. Highlights are coming up.
So what's the big surprise?
Knicks tickets.
American Express?
I got a little proposition.
Whoa! Hey, you got my ticket!
Think again, my friend.
Oh, there!
American Express, the official card of the NBA.
Might have gone to the moon for these.
Tell me about it.
There's a place where the humidity can be so thick you can practically cut it with a knife. And spaghetti sauce flies through the air with wild abandon. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we put Dutch Boy kitchen and bath paint through over 70 tests to be sure it resists moisture, peeling, and even staining. All to make sure that when you buy Dutch Boy, you're not just getting a paint that looks beautiful. You're getting a paint that lasts. We guarantee it. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Tom Shales of the Washington Post makes his living by being a tough critic. But look what he has to say about Turner Classic Movies. Utterly elegant, invaluable, and irreplaceable. the best cable channel in the known universe. Maybe that's because we've got the biggest and most acclaimed collection of movies ever brought to television, uninterrupted and commercial-free. It's no surprise that Turner Classic Movies continues to be the new favorite channel of film buffs everywhere. So ask your cable operator to add Turner Classic Movies to your universe.
You step into the postseason on TNT and TBS. Now, you must hit the shot, make the play, run the floor, or it's all over. The 1996 NBA playoffs are coming. Over 40 games in 30 nights. The NBA playoffs continue on TNT and TBS.
Final word of the day, the inside word. Inside the NBA, continuing here in our TNT studios in Atlanta. Jimmy Lynam and Vince Cellini back with you. The Seattle SuperSonics playing at home, still sporting playoff baggage. You know their story. First round losses in 94 to Denver. Denver was an 8 seed. In 95 to the Lakers. The Sonics open tonight against a sub-500 playoff team in the Kings. And without Shawn Kemp serving that one-game suspension after dancing with Denver's Tom Hammonds in the season finale. No Shawn, no problem for Seattle at home in this game. Irvin Johnson. Not that Irvin Johnson, this Irvin Johnson. The big block on Mitch Richmond. Then Gary Payton. Who are you going to go to if Shawn Kemp isn't around? Gary Payton with Johnson for the lay-in. Gary Payton. Good move and the lay-in. And then Payton out to Sam Perkins. He'll shoot the three. He didn't jump much there, but he knocked it down. Seattle with the early lead, then Sacramento begins to fall apart. Brian Grant losing the basketball. Mitch Richmond with a bad pass. Lionel Simmons follows with a bad pass. 23 turnovers for the Kings, 12 in the first quarter. They didn't score for almost 4.5 minutes of the game. And Sharunas Marciulionis could pass to Olden Polynice. And with the tough lay-in and the foul. Still 31-17 Seattle. Second half, Hersey Hawkins off the pick and the jumper. And he's fouled by Polynice. Then Mitch Richmond keeping Sacramento in it, or trying to. There's a nice drive. That's pretty. The lay-in goes. Seattle still with the 11-point lead. Payton again. Who's going to check him? Tyus said he couldn't, and he knows it. Sacramento doesn't quit. Michael Smith hustling and diving into the crowd for the loose ball. A good Seattle ball movement. Detlef Schrempf, the Hersey Hawkins, the Nate McMillan for the three. Oh, Gary St. Jean. That's Gary with 2 R's. And that's an L tonight. 97-85, the final numbers. First appearance in the postseason for the Kings in a decade, and they lose. Payton had 29. He came up big. Mitch Richmond, 18 in the game. The Kings have lost now 10 straight playoff games dating back to 1981. Gary Payton. We talked about Payton getting the job done without Shawn Kemp. 3 times this year, he's pulled the Seattle SuperSonics to wins. That lone loss, look at that, to Washington. 26 points in that game. Hey, genius. What happened in that game?
I guess I'd better get that tape when I get back.
What was the strategy? Tell me you devised something to stop it.
What happens when a guy like Kemp's not there, Seattle, to me, one of their big qualities, versatility, explosiveness. You take Kemp out of there with one less weapon to worry about.
All right, after the game, George Karl did something that Jim Lynam has never done. Let's give a listen.
Satisfied with building a great deal. They should have shot the referees, though, but no. I didn't say that. Tell me I didn't. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord, cut that from the camera, please. I can't afford another 10 minutes. I was just kidding, David and Rod. I promise you, I was just kidding.
Oh, George, he can't help himself. By the way, the Kings and Sonics do it again on Sunday right here on TNT. Catch Ernie and the gang in the pregame show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by tip-off at 9 p.m. sharp. Well, each and every night, we'll bring you the AutoZone news of the day, so here it is, and it's big. It's big like 6'11" worth. The Boston Globe reporting College Basketball Player of the Year, Marcus Camby of UMass, set to announce Monday he'll make himself available for the June draft. Camby led UMass to the Final Four, averaged 20.5 points, 8.2 rebounds a game. Camby reportedly has not signed with an agent, leaving the door open for a possible return to school. Jimmy Lynam, because of rules, cannot comment on Marcus Camby, but if he could, he'd probably say, you know what, that guy's pretty good. We'd like to have him. All right, still more on tap inside the NBA, including sleepless nights as a team encounters the dream. Can the Los Angeles Lakers slow down Hakeem Olajuwon in Game 2? They'd better. We'll take a closer look at that and much more next.
playoffs continue on TNT as the Blazers meet the Jazz at 10:30. But first, Game 2.
Oh, my!
For the Hawks and Pacers, the NBA playoffs tomorrow at 8 on TNT.
If it fits a little better. If it holds up a little longer. If it feels a little more comfortable. Don't be surprised. We've had a little practice. It takes a little more to make a champion.
There's a place in New York owned by the biggest sports stars around.
You know, I like to have long hair.
And you never know when they'll show up.
Long. Short.
It's the official All-Star Cafe.
Henry Griffey Jr., 301 lifetime average.
Where the owners are always willing to help out.
Excuse me, it's 302.
So if you go, bring the right stats and the right card. Visa, because the All-Star doesn't take American Express.
301 lifetime average.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Need a few parts? Pep Boys has everything you need.
Have a nice weekend.
26,000 items at the guaranteed low price, tires and service too. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
The cruising spirit lives. Royal Star by Yamaha.
Inside the NBA is brought to you by Foot Locker, the world's most complete athletic footwear store. Foot Locker, where it all begins.
And now our Foot Locker play of the day. It happened in the Bulls and Heat game. Scottie Pippen only had 13, but look at that deuce. Pippen going high up and over Chris Gatling for the throwdown. And that was our Foot Locker play of the day. Now a little intrigue from your friends at TNT. You probably heard about the new Tom Cruise movie, Mission Impossible, set for a May 22nd release. It's based on the old TV series, and throughout the playoffs, we'll be presenting our own Mission Impossible. Here's the first.
This is your mission should you choose to accept it. Should you or any member of your IM force be caught, the Secretary will disavow all knowledge of your actions. Good luck.
It's much worse than you think.
Cruise you lose, Lakers. They found out firsthand in Game 1 when Hakeem Olajuwon exploded offensively, dropping in 33 points, many of them with Vlade Divac hanging all over him. Quite a weapon, huh, Clyde Drexler?
I tell you, we got a big guy named Hakeem Olajuwon, and he dominated on both ends right when we needed it. He's the most dominant player in the game.
So what to do against the Dream? Well, if you don't double-team him, you will pay. Magic Johnson from the side and Cedric Ceballos from the top. And still, it's punishment for the Lakers. Mission Impossible, L.A. found out firsthand. Well, Jimmy, another problem. By the way, Cruz in the show. What can we say? Another problem for Los Angeles. Maybe the correct use of Magic Johnson. You know, some discussion today with Del Harris. Magic said he wanted to be more of an offensive force. Del wanted him to pass more in the series against the Rockets. What's your perspective?
Well, in all honesty, Vince, I think very unfamiliar territory for Magic, namely losing first round playoff game at home. I think it's just a reaction to the game, and I think come next game, it'll be fine.
Yeah, Magic did have 20 points in that game. All right, now the Sponsor Fest continues. We present the Isuzu Look Ahead, and for it, a lesson in just how easy it is to misplace a 7'4" person. We're talking about Rick Smits of the Indiana Pacers, and we're going to look ahead to Game 2 for Atlanta and Indiana. Smits had 19 points in the game, but you know what? He had his hands full with that guy, Christian Laettner.
A tough matchup. Here you see a big field goal late, three-point play. Leitner takes him on the drive. It's a big spot for Pacers with Reggie Miller out. They need Smits to be more involved.
Yeah, that's Elo knocking down a three-pointer. And Rick Smits on the bench. As you said, he has to step up. But they couldn't get it done. They tried, I think, a couple of times, but they couldn't get the ball to him.
Well, give the Atlanta defense some credit, but when Rick gets his hands on it, I think he has to be a bit more aggressive. I'm sure Larry would like to see him get more offense. You know, good pass out of the double team, and you need some of these shots, in all honesty, to go down.
Yeah, and Smits was complaining he's got the sore feet, he can't move as well, and that's certainly
but like right here,
game.
Vince, yeah, that's a shot. If as you said, 7 feet 4 inches tall, spinning away from the double, you have to shoot that ball and make it.
And eventually he does shoot the ball, come hell or high water.
Yeah,
he's
you
going to go for it.
A little out of his rhythm, and maybe the feet are causing him a problem. But if they're going to survive, they need a bigger contribution.
Well, you can see that Indiana in Game 1 had real trouble in the fourth quarter. They scored only 12 points there on 4 of 17. Smits 2 of 2 in the field goals, but really has to take more shots than that, don't you think?
Without question.
All right, have to find. All right, let's go to the brackets now, because after all, it's our bracket wall. Let's get you up to date on what's going in the East and the Western Conference. First, the East, and you can see there are your leaders. It's pretty plain and simple at this point. Now let's go to the Western Conference and get you caught up there. And Utah, San Antonio, Houston, and Seattle, all with the victories after their opening games. All right, a reminder, Saturday our good friends at NBC jump into the fray with playoff coverage. The Knicks look to take a 2-0 lead over Cleveland, leading it off at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then Houston trying to do the same. Go up 2-0. They follow up at 3:30 Eastern against the Lakers. TNT will step up at 8 p.m. Eastern time with Indiana hosting Atlanta. The Hawks lead the series 1-0. And following that one, 10:30 p.m., Jazz and Blazers again. Utah leads 1-0. Johnny Stock had 23 assists in Game 1. Inside the NBA to follow. And that's going to do it for us. Jimmy Lynam, thanks for stopping by the last couple of nights. Outstanding job.
Thank you, sir.
What do you think about this TV business?
Hey, the best. You guys are pros down here.
All right. You're a pro for jumping right on board and doing a great job. All right. We leave you with some of the best plays from around the playoff action this evening. So take a look at this, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
3, 2, 1.
Injection, fellas.